Luke here with catsandcarp.com, and today I'm reviewing the Warrior Cat Rod. Oh yeah! Well, at any rate, not a bad rod. Not a bad rod at all. Muscled in this 20-pounder like nobody's business. I think this could handle a 40-50 pounder without any fuss. Definitely a big catfish rod. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's a big channel catfish. Oh. Look at those two beauties. Those suckers are gorgeous. Welcome back to another installment of our rod review series. Every day this week I'm doing a rod review video, so you're getting a video every day, and on Sunday, the final video, we're going to be giving away some awesome prizes to you subscribers, so stay tuned and keep watching. Today I'm reviewing the Warrior Cat Rod. This is a bait casting medium heavy powered rod. It runs $79.99 and it is a great all-around rod. It's got enough backbone for big cats up to 50-60 pounds, no problem, but it's sensitive enough to catch channel catfish with. So if you're catching 5-pounders, 6-pounders, you're still going to have some fun on this. It's not a completely big cat rod. It's nice in-between stuff. It throws about 3-4 ounces of lead and bait ideally. So it's not a big river rod. You don't want to be throwing 8 ounces of lead, 6 ounces of lead with this. That'd be a bit much. You could do it, but it won't do it well. So this is a great rod if you're going to be throwing small leads and small baits, so places with not a lot of current. So if you're at slow-moving rivers, lakes, this will work just fine. You can get these rods at Warrior Cat Tackle, and they come in several different models. There's the medium heavy power 7.5 foot casting rod, which is what I have here. There's a heavy power, and there's an extra heavy power. They also make a bumping rod and a pink ladies version of this rod. But there are no spinning versions of the Warrior Cat, only casting models. And this is the lightest one they have, and they don't come in longer sizes. So a little bit limited in your selection, but not a bad rod. And if you want something extra beefy, they have that available. The reel I have this paired up with is the Ming Yang MC600 bait caster reel. Runs about $90, so it's about the same price range, give or take, a little more expensive. I've got 40-pound spider wire on here. It's a great setup. This is a pretty light rod, and the Ming Yang reel is a pretty light reel. It's not as beefy as the Cast King or even the Abu Garcia reels. So it complements the lightness of this rod a little bit better. It's got a very long handle on it, good big foregrip, so plenty of places to grab onto this rod. Now, I think the Warrior Cat is an extremely nice, high quality rod. This is a rod that if you owned, I think you would really enjoy and you wouldn't be let down. But one of the biggest problems, though, is there are several other really nice rods that are almost exactly the same price. So, for instance, you have the Chad Ferguson series Whisker Seeker rods, which are the rods I use on my boat. I've owned maybe 15 of these rods over the last 3 years. I mean, I just love these rods. And they're really similar. They are both 7.5 foot rods. They are both excellent for both small channel catfish and big trophy catfish. They both throw about 3 ounces of lead really comfortably. They're both $79.99, exactly the same price. The biggest difference is in the looks. The Whisker Seeker's got that flaming orange paint job, and it's got the rubber cork composite handle, while the Whisker Seeker has a more traditional conservative look. The other difference is the Whisker Seeker comes in spinning or bait casting models, while the Warrior Cat comes in only bait casting. Both have medium heavy power or heavy power models, so they're pretty similar. I just think the Whisker Seeker's a bit lighter and just a little bit more sensitive, and I like the looks of it better, but they're exactly the same price. It's not a huge difference, but just they're both two really good rods, and I like one a little bit better. Some of this is preference though. You may look at the Warrior Cat and really like that traditional cork handle better, so you know, that's kind of up to you. But it's the Whisker Seeker's a little bit more sensitive, a little bit lighter. Additionally, if you want something a little bit heavier, you're hitting more trophy catfish and less channel cats, you've got things like the Shatter Cat rod, which is an extremely nice rod and about $5 cheaper. It's got metal reel seats, aluminum reel seats. It's got this very tight foam handle. It's a good looking rod, 7.5 feet. Very similar to the Warrior Cat. They're really similar, just different paint jobs. And the sensitivity is darn close, darn close. I would say maybe the Shatter Cat is a slightly beefier rod. I mean, it's designed for heavier leads, heavier catfish, just slightly more. But it is pretty close, and you can only really tell when you have them one in each hand. And you know, these are both really good looking rods, and the Shatter Cat's about $5 cheaper. One thing though, the Shatter Cat only comes in one model, bait casting and heavy power. Now the heavy power feels almost exactly the same as the medium heavy Warrior Cat, but there's only one type of Shatter Cat rod. It's a very small company. I like the looks of the Shatter Cat a little bit better though. So, and then you've got the Tangling with Catfish Rods, which are also just a little bit cheaper than the Warrior Cat. It's like a couple dollars cheaper than the Warrior Cats. These are very good rods, and they come in spinning or casting. There's I believe like a 12-foot or 10-foot version as well for bank fishermen. There's a couple different options, but traditional cork handle, aluminum reel seat. I did a review of just this Tangling with Catfish rod already, so I'll put a link in the description to that. But this rod's just a little bit better for bigger catfish. So I think if you're going to be hunting for big blues from a boat, big flatheads from a boat, and you're not so worried about the channel catfish, this is maybe a little bit better performance-wise. But look at this. You've got 4 awesome rods, all within the same price range. You know, so it's really down to preference. You know, which paint job do you like better? Which one do you think feels slightly better? Do you want something a little bit heavier or a little bit more sensitive? So the Warrior Cat, an excellent rod, but it's got some really incredible competition right in the same price range. So if you are looking for a rod, it's about $70 to $80 that can handle good sized catfish as well as 5 to 10 pound channel catfish. You are spoiled for choice. There are some great options on the market. So the Warrior Cat is definitely one you should look at, but also look at the Whisker Seeker rod, the Shatter Cat rod, and the Tangling with Catfish rod. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this rod review video. If you'd like to see more great rod review videos, click subscribe to the Catfish and Carp YouTube channel. We put out new videos all the time.